Morning all, I'd like to show you a fantastic game of Sergey Karjakin this morning. This was played way back in 2002. Sergey was only around 12 years old at the time of this game. His opponent, Malinin, was a fearsome opponent, 2-4, 3-4. Sergey though was already 2-5, 2-3, so a favourite in terms of FIDE rating. He kicked off with e4 and we saw knight c6 from Malinin, and now d4, e5, and now we get a transposition into the Scotch game because white didn't want to play d5, which is like a tango. The knight might be heading to g6. Instead, knight f3 going to the Scotch game. After e takes d4, knight takes d4, queen h4. This is a very popular move in this position actually, but the most popular is actually bishop c5. Next most is knight f6, bishop b4. Okay, it's about the fifth most popular move, queen h4. So it's an early queen excursion. Can it be punished? Well, we see knight c3 protecting the e4 pawn, and now bishop b4 as though there's potentially a threat again on e4, but this is just ignored now by Sergey. And this is theoretical, just quite a lot of games, 76 games here in my live book with this next move, just bishop e2. Is black wanting to be really greedy here? It looks to be a violation of development. So black just continues developing with knight f6, and now up to castles. Again, it looks as though this pawn, is potentially going to be taken, especially if black gets the castle. Black does play bishop takes c3, weakening the pawn. And in fact here, though, instead of b takes c3, a different move was played. Knight f5, positively encouraging black to take on e4 now, with the king still in the centre. But will white be able to exploit that? Because look, there's a bishop eyeing e1. There's no rook e1 in this position. Has Sergey miscalculated this? So in fact, queen takes e4 was played. There doesn't seem to be anything too dangerous going on. Bishop d3, kicking the queen again. Queen g4. Now white plays f3, attacking the queen again. After queen a4, in fact, black is permitted now to castle, not even bothering with queen e2 check here. Let's have a quick look with a Kibitzer in this position. Okay, if queen e2 check, maybe black just plays king f8. That should be okay for black. I think a move like bishop e5 is asking for a bit more trouble with f4 than what it's worth. So in this position we just see b takes c3, and it looks as though black's got away with it, castling. So black's been materialistic and has now castled his king into apparent safety. Or has he? There's a bit of a shocking move in this position, an absolutely shocking move is played here, which is unbelievable. I wonder if you can guess it if I give you 10 seconds starting from now, or you might want to pause the video. Okay, white plays the shocker, knight takes g7, and I believe we might have seen this on a detailed Scotch game opening video with dual commentary with my good friend Paul Georgiou. We might have stumbled on this game in discussions in the Scotch game about how black could be punished. So what is going on here with knight takes g7? First question, can this actually be ignored? What is white actually threatening if it's ignored? White might be just threatening queen d2 and then coming in with the queen. So we're saying knight e5, just queen d2 here. And in fact, knight takes d3, we can immediately play queen g5, and it's quite dangerous. For example, like this is an engine line. Queen c6. C takes d3, and it's pretty nasty for black's king safety, basically with moves like knight f5 and bishop a3 on the cards. So after knight takes g7, it doesn't look palatable to allow the knight to survive here. So king takes g7. And where is white's punishment? Surely the queen is like blocked by its own pawn. there's only like these two bishops in the vague direction of the king. Can you spot another fantastic move now, which is played here? If I give you 10 seconds starting from now. Okay, stunning move again. Continuation, bishop h6 check, trying to draw the king out. If this isn't taken, well, let's have a look. If king g8 again, this move queen d2 is of great effect, threatening queen g5 mating. And if king h8 here, black just loses the rook. So this is big trouble, this position. If queen a5, that prevents queen g5, just take the rook again. Check, and this is dangerous for black's king safety. Rook a e1, so there's a horrible threat now of rook e8 check, deflecting away the knight to be able to take on h7 mating. So this is to be avoided. So after bishop h6 check, black played actually king takes h6, and do we have a king hunt now? We see queen d2 check. Can the king go back? Not really. Let's have a look. If king g7 check, king h8, queen takes f6 check, king g8, queen g5 check, driving the king to the corner, and now queen h6 double attacks h7 and f8. So it just shows the king cannot go back. There's no real defense here. So if the king can't go back, it has to come forward. Forward it comes with king h5. And now we see g4 check. So black tries to counter sacrifice with knight takes g4. Otherwise he's going to be in big trouble surely. After king h4 he's just getting mated. Queen h6 check and then mating. So there's no real options here other than to take actually on g4. F takes g4, queen takes g4, and black is throwing in a check here. It's with check, but king h1 keeps a lot of threats in this position, principally rook f6 now, and queen h6 or rook h6 is one of the principal threats here, but also rook f5 check is dangerous. So how does black parry this? Black tried d6, which at least stops rook f5, but doesn't stop rook f6. Let's see for a moment. If black played, for example, f5, then surely actually bishop e2 just skewers the queen and king. That's no good. So okay, we see this move d6, and in fact isn't the skewer working here? Let's have a quick check. Bishop e2, yes, this could just be very good as well. White's just winning here with even bishop e2, but the more incisive rook f6 is played, threatening mate rather prettily. Black tries now queen g5. It's a bit of a hopeless situation anyway. Check. After bishop g4, bishop takes g4 check, and here black actually resigned. He doesn't want the humiliating king takes, and then rook g1 check is mating in a couple of moves anyway. Okay, so for example like this. Well, so what an attack. Wow. So black resigned here. It shows materialism in the Scotch game drastically punished, and that crunching move quite unexpected in this game after black managed to castle was knight takes g7, so black didn't get away with being materialistic in this game. It was drastically punished. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.